$21,000. That's what one independent filmmaker walked away with after 2 years on Netflix, in two of the biggest English-speaking markets in the world, for a film that over 120,000 people rated on the platform. 120,000 ratings. 2 years, 2 markets, $21,000. Now, I'm not sharing that number to discourage you. I'm sharing it because you deserve to know it before you spend 3 years of your life and every dollar you have making a film with a number in your head that looks nothing like that. And I'm sharing it because understanding how we get from a Netflix licensing deal to $21,000 in your pocket is one of the most important things a filmmaker can know. I'm Sal Fermondi. This is Post Hollywood, episode 3 of Get on Netflix. Today we're talking about the gatekeepers, distributors, and aggregators who sit between you and the platform, and the real financial picture of what a Netflix deal actually looks like once everyone has taken their cuts. And by the end of this episode, you will know exactly who these people are, what they charge, and what they do, and what you need to watch out for before signing anything with any of them. There's a word that gets thrown around constantly in independent film distribution circles, and most filmmakers use it incorrectly. That word is aggregator. Ask 10 indie filmmakers what an aggregator is, and at least 7 of them will give you a definition that is actually describing a distributor. The two are not the same thing. They do not do the same job. They do not charge the same way, and confusing one for the other can cost you thousands of dollars and months of wasted time. So before we talk about money, before we talk about names and fees and commissions, we need to make sure we're speaking the same language. Because once you understand the difference between these two types of people, the distributor and the aggregator, everything about how distribution actually works starts to make sense. A film distributor is a deal maker. Their job is to sell your film. They take your finished film, represent it to buyers around the world, streaming platforms, broadcast networks, and theatrical chains, airline hotels, systems, foreign territories, and negotiate licensing deals on your behalf. And the value of a good distributor is not just that they make calls. It's that they have relationships. They know who's buying what at Netflix right now. They know which platform just lost a documentary and is looking to fill that slot. They know that a particular streaming service in Germany is actively seeking English language thrillers with female leads. That's institutional knowledge built over years of doing deals. It's what you're paying for when you work with a distributor. Now, what does paying for that actually look like? Distributors typically work on commission. The industry standard is around 15% of whatever revenue your film generates through the deals they make. Some distributors also charge upfront fees, expenses, or marketing costs that come off the top before you see a single dollar. Some ask for a minimum term, meaning they control your film's distribution rights for a set number of years, usually between 3 and 7, sometimes longer. Some ask for worldwide rights, some work territory by territory. And here's the thing that most filmmakers don't fully reckon with until it's too late. A bad distributor can sit on your film for years, doing nothing, making no deals, and still technically own the rights to pitch it, because you signed a contract that gave them that control. Choosing the right distributor is one of the most consequential decisions any independent filmmaker makes. It deserves the same level of research and scrutiny as choosing a co-producer or a lead actor, maybe more. The power of a distributor is access and relationships. The cost is commission, terms, lengths, and the degree of control you hand over. Now let me tell you about the other type of person in this equation, an aggregator, which is entirely a different animal. Where an aggregator sells your film, an aggregator delivers it. Their primary job is technical. They take your finished film, encode it to the exact specifications required by each platform. They perform rigorous quality control, package all of the equipment materials together, video, audio, subtitles, metadata, artwork, and then submit that complete package to the platform through the proper technical channels. Here is the simplest way that I can put it. If the distributor is the salesperson who walks into Netflix and closes the deal, the aggregator is the logistics company that makes sure that the product actually arrives at the warehouse in exactly the condition that the buyer was promised. Both jobs are essential. Neither one replaces the other. And here's why this matters so much. Most major streaming platforms, including Netflix, will not accept direct delivery from an individual filmmaker. They require that delivery come through a vetted, approved technical partner. This is partly about quality control, partly about logistics, and partly about the simple fact that Netflix does not want to be in the business of troubleshooting technical delivery problems with thousands of individual producers around the world. They want one point of contact and that they already trust. So your film has to go through an approved aggregator. There's no workaround. There's no going back door. If you're not working with an approved partner, your film's not getting into the system. Now, who are these approved partners and what do they charge? Netflix maintains a list of approved delivery partners. 3 of the most important names for independent filmmakers are Quiver Digital, OD Media, and the Movie Partnership. Quiver Digital is widely considered the gold standard for independent filmmakers. It was founded by a former indie filmmaker who had watched too many people get exploited by aggregators taking enormous back-end percentages for minimal work. The Quiver model is simple. It's a flat upfront fee, 0% of your back-end revenue. For a feature film, $1,495 for the first platform, $225 for each additional platform after that. Whatever your film earns on the platform goes entirely to you. Nothing comes back to Quiver. OD Media is a preferred aggregator for Netflix, Apple TV, Amazon, and Google. They are particularly strong on the technical side. Their pricing is customized based on the project, its technical complexity, the number of platforms, the number of territories. If your film has a significant requirement or are targeting multiple platforms simultaneously, OD Media is worth a serious conversation. The Movie Partnership is European-based with a strong international track record. For filmmakers whose films have strong potential in European territories or who are targeting international streaming rights, they're the most credible option available. Now, I want to walk you through exactly what an aggregator does, what they really do, because most filmmakers dramatically underestimate it. And underestimating it leads to underestimating the cost. The submission process has 4 stages. First, encoding. Your film has to be converted into the exact technical format that the platform requires. For Netflix, this means a 4K master in specific codec format delivered through their proprietary portal. The encoding process alone requires specialized equipment and expertise that most indie filmmakers simply do not have access to. Second, quality control. The aggregator runs your film through a rigorous QC process, checking every frame for technical artifacts, audio sync issues, color inconsistencies, black level problems. Netflix rejects between 20 and 30% of first submissions. The aggregator's QC process exists specifically to catch these problems before they result in a rejection. Third, packaging. Every platform requires not just the film itself, but a complete package of supporting materials, multiple audio tracks, subtitle files in multiple languages, metadata, the title, description, cast list, genre classifications, content ratings, artwork in specific sizes and formats. And fourth, tracking. Once your film is live, the aggregator monitors its status, manages any technical issues, handles the financial reporting from the platform, and passes the revenue through to you. This is not someone pressing a button. This is a serious technical operation, and now that you know what it involves, let me show you exactly what the money looks like. Here's the financial picture that nobody draws clearly for independent filmmakers. When your films get onto Netflix through the traditional route with a sales agent and aggregator both involved, the money does not all come to you. The sales agent who pitched and negotiated the deal takes their commission first. The industry standard is 15% of the gross licensing fee. Then the aggregator who handled the technical delivery takes their piece. If they're working on a commission basis rather than a flat fee, they typically take another 15%. What remains, approximately 70% of the gross licensing fee, is what actually reaches you as the filmmaker. Now, I want to show you exactly why the choice between a flat aggregator and a commission-based aggregator matters. If your Netflix licensing deal pays $30,000, a commission-based aggregator takes $4,500. A flat fee aggregator like Quiver takes $1,495. The difference is over $3,000 on a single deal, and that gap grows significantly as your deals get larger. $3,000, one deal from one decision about which aggregator you choose. That's not a small number. That's the difference between a camera lens and a hard drive full of nothing. Choose your partners carefully. Now, let's bring it all together with a real deal. Theory is useful, real numbers are better. Here is what an actual Netflix licensing deal looks like for one independent filmmaker whose film performed well on the platform. The deal covered the UK, the United Kingdom, the United States. The licensing fee was $15,000 per year. The deal ran for 2 years, making the total gross value of the contract $30,000. After the sales agent took their 15% commission and the aggregator took their 15%, the filmmaker walked away with approximately $21,000 over 2 years. Now here's the part I need you to really hear. The film, over the 2 years, received more than 120,000 viewer ratings on Netflix. 120,000 people rated this film on Netflix. It performed. It was genuinely popular. It found its audience, and after 2 years, 2 middlemen and a deal covering 2 of the biggest English-speaking markets on the planet, the filmmaker netted $21,000. I'm not sharing this to make you feel like the system is broken. I'm sharing it because every independent filmmaker deserves to know the numbers before they walk into a distribution conversation with a different number in their head. Because here's what that $21,000 actually represents. It represents global visibility, a credit that opens doors, a proof point that you can use in every future distribution and financing conversation for the rest of your career, an audience of over 100,000 people. Even if you cannot directly access data about them, that is larger than most independent films ever find throughout any channel. These things have real value. They're not just the same thing as a large check. And a filmmaker who builds a real financial sustainability from streaming, the ones who actually make a career out of this, they do it through volume and strategy. Multiple films, multiple platforms, multiple territories. Rights structured intelligently from the beginning so that each deal builds towards the next one. One film on Netflix is a milestone. A catalog on films on multiple platforms is a business. You need them. That's the simple truth. You cannot get onto Netflix without going through the people we talked about today. The distributor opens the doors, the aggregator gets you through it properly, and understanding what each of them costs in money, in rights, and in time is what separates the filmmaker who gets a good deal from the filmmaker who signs something they will regret for 7 years. 3 principles to take away from this today. 1. Know the difference. A distributor sells, an aggregator delivers. They are not the same thing. Do not confuse them. Do not use them interchangeably. 2. Flat fees beat commission. If you have the choice between a flat fee aggregator and a commission-based one, run the math. The difference is real money on every deal. 3. The number is not what you think. A Netflix deal is a milestone. It's visibility. It's a credit. But it's rarely a windfall. Go in knowing what it's actually worth so that you can make smart decisions about what you agreed to. Choose your partners carefully, read every contract, understand every term, and never sign away your rights for longer than you have to, for less money that you deserve, to people who haven't earned your trust. Tomorrow's episode 4, we're going to go deep on some things that most distributor guidelines, they skip entirely. What Netflix actually wants. Not the answer that you get in film school, not the compelling story and authentic voices version. The real answer, the genres that are working right now, the track record problems and how to solve it, the 2-minute pitch structure and the audience factor. Why what you have built before you walk into the room matters as much as the film itself. There's one thing I'm going to tell you in episode 4 that changes how you think about every creative decision you make from this point forward. I'll see you there. Follow me on LinkedIn, Sal Fermondi, so you don't miss it. The link is in the description. and the complete written guide of this series that this series is based on. Every chapter, every number, every contract term, it's in a free ebook that I've developed. My name is Sal Fermondi. This is Post Hollywood. If you're looking for this free ebook, email me at sal@filmmakergenius.com. I'm Sal Fermondi. This is Post Hollywood. The distributor opens the door. The aggregator gets you through it. Now you know the difference.